Hey guys, Father Time here. We are in Kingsford Smith International Airport in Sydney, Australia, flying the 787 in Qantas livery, 787-10, Spirit of Australia. I'm going to fly a flight. There is no VAT sim. There's no controllers in this area, as you can see. So we can not worry about that. And we're going to back up and taxi on out to runway 16 right and fly down to Melbourne and land, go to the gate. Cold, dark airplane. That's how you guys seem to like it. So that's what we're going to do. Look how pretty that is. Man, I love this stuff. Quiet, right? Before we start getting the people on board, let's come in and do the pre-flight. If you don't know Bob, Bob, you're looking a little deflated today. Did you get blown up before you left home? You always forget to do that. You should do that. So anyway, we got we come up the console, walk in, check the circuit breakers, check the logbook. No maintenance going on. We got parking brakes parked, throttles idle, thrust levers down, speed brake levers down, alternate flap levers off. We got the gear handles down, overhead. Wipers are off, believe it or not. You got the hydraulic pumps are all off, because what we're doing is getting ready to put power on the airplane. Batteries on. Looks like we got external. We do a fire test before we start the EPU. We'll get that started. And we'll get the RU starting to crank. Go down to the box. Gonna go through it kind of fast, guys. 787-10, the Rolls-Royce engines, the Trent. Today is October 3rd, Friday the 13th. Yikes. Got a lot of gas to go down there. We're gonna fix that. Let's do our flight plan. Position on it. Get the GPS coordinates in there. I got on rapid align. We'll put in Sydney Y SSY, and that's aligning. We'll get the route coming up. Actually, you know what we're going to do first? We're going to make sure that we're talking to settings. Next page. We're talking to SimBrief, because I did file a SimBrief flight plan. We'll come in here. We'll go operational flight plan. We'll set from the operational flight plan, those are set. Let's hit the update. 369.3, that is correct. CG actual is 35. We're going to remember that. Max min. Okay, let's go to the route. Route request. And while we're waiting on that, let's get the people boarding. Request boarding.
Boarding requested.
Who do we want to do? Virgin Australia. We'll let them board us. I don't know why. Load. It's coming in nicely. We're going to go off 16 right. 16 right. We better not put that in yet. We'll go off the, let's put in 16 right. We're going to do radar vectors out of here, guys. 16 right. This is Qantas flight 419. Normally flown by like a 73800. Perfinet, zero fuel weight's good. And put in the reserves. Cost index, I think it's like 41. We'll get that off the flight plan, 41. Thrust limit, I'm just going to do this first, guys. Takeoff. So let's do the electronic flight bag. Electronic flight bag, initialize the flight. Performance. That is Sydney, runway 16 right.
Do you want to board crew?
Dry. Yeah, board them. Board everyone.
Crew bus is coming.
And the winds are on the operational flight plan. So the PDF. Winds here at Sydney, 270 at 10, 1018, 16. 270 at 10, 101. 270. 270 at 8. 270 at 08. 270 at 08. 16. 1018. 1018. Okay. Well, thinking of that. CG we said was 35. Right? And the thrust rating optimum. Flap configuration optimum. Air conditioning auto. Calculate. Just thinking about it, thinking about it, thinking about it. Want to see something cool? Send the output to the FMC. kidding me?
Pilots boarding starting.
That's great. And we're going to use 156 up on the window. 156. Pilots are boarding. Flight attendants are boarding. These flight directors on. Auto throttles on. And the autopilot engage switches in there. Heading. It's going to be runway 16. So 164. Get that set up. It's going to be radar vectors. No SID. We'll say our initial altitude on clearance was 10. And we did get our clearance, we'll say. And right down here, we'll set up our freaks. But transponder 3264. TARA. And we get our VHF
Crew
freak
boarding
set
starting.
up. Okay, ground, tower. Going to push back with ground. Guard on the other side. Okay, good. Let's go back to our box because there's a couple of things we didn't load yet. Oh, that did not update. The takeoff page. Accept. Ba-boom. Flaps 5. CG. 35. Trim 2. Trim 2. Get up here. I love it now that this electronic flight bag works for performance. Two, it's right in the green band, right? 156 on the screen. We did all that. And TO2, we're going to do a NADP1, which cleans up at 3,000. Power reduction at 1,500. 800 engine out. That way VNAV works, guys, for the engine out. So thrust reduction at 1,500. Excel height 3,000, and engine out is 800 feet AFL. Don't need any of that. Legs, route data, wind request.
Your crew has boarded. Bus is coming.
Yeah, we'll go outside and take a look at all of our people coming on here in a second. Loading up the winds. Going to go to VNAV. Climb forecasts. Load those. They're in there. VNAV. Descent forecast. Load those. Looks good. Altimeters 1018. Alright, so those are loaded. Let's go to the overhead and do the rest of the pre-flight overhead. Viruses, well, good. They're up there. They're good. Emergency lights good. Power, our window heat's on. Get a little out of sequence here, because what you do is you come here, right? See they were available. That's because the APU started. All these are on. Hydraulic pumps are off. Got a nav on.
Passengers boarding starting.
Here come the peeps. This pump's on because the APU's on. Everything here is normal. Smoke control panel. Now we come across. Smoke control panel is all set for departure. We check our oxygen. Then we come down the middle. Gear handles, we said, was down. Box is checked. Flaps are up. Fuel levers are cut off. Throttle radio, throttle quadrant rather. Cut off. Spoiler handlers down. This is the alternate flap switch is off. Parking brake is set. Step trim cutout switches are cut out. Radio panel. We'd set up our ground and our tower, our transponder, our trim. Check that neutral. We'd also check neutral on top of the yoke. Make sure that's neutral. We're going to go LNAV up, VNAV up here, but not LNAV. That'll be heading select. Toga. We set our engine out here. 810 field elevation is. And while we're here, we're going to go out to 16 right. Probably pushes back. Could be straight back pretty much. And taxi out alpha, rotor wiggle till 16 right. Pretty easy. Want to see these guys boarding? I know you do. I know you do. Come in here, right, get this out of your way. People coming on. We can in the crew bus if we wanted. Like this bus is empty.
Passengers bus is coming.
Hello! So the new bus is coming. It's actually how it works. They wait for the buses to come in. Once they get there, it usually takes 3 or 4 buses. Here it comes. The guy's flying. Woohoo! Is he coming? Oh yeah, over here. Want to ride in with the pit passengers? Hi folks, I'm your captain. All the time, don't forget to subscribe. That ought to freak them out, huh guys? You don't get to do this every day. Excuse me, coming through, excuse me. All right.
Passengers boarding
I
starting.
just saw him down there, right down there. Okay. All right, thanks a lot. Hey, look at the jet bridge finally came up too. All right, so all sorts of stuff going on up there. All right, that's enough fun for one day. So let's come back inside. Hope you enjoyed that. It was too crazy, right? And I think we're ready for the checklist, Bob. So we'll have Bobby Boy do the checklist. Passenger signs. We'll assume they're on, getting on board, okay? Because we got to get going. This is a YouTube video, right, guys? And these wing anti-ices should all be in auto. Engine and wing anti-ice are all automatic. The only thing is, on the ground, you'd have to turn on engine ice if you had actually engine. You don't use the wing on the ground if you actually had icing. MCP, we check that. Takeoff speeds, we check that. CDU pre-flight, you know how to do that. We go to init, index, ident. Check the database. Today is Halloween. It's Friday the 13th. Check position. We're all aligned. Check the route. Walk through the route versus the flight plan. We didn't do the arrival though, did we? Departures arrival. That's why you check this stuff. Arrival. The Lizzie 9 Alpha to runway. Let's go to. I think 27. That's where they're landing down there. So 27. Execute. I got that. Then we go through legs. We come up here. We go to plan. And we'd walk through the box one leg at a time, checking that there were no discontinuities and checking it against the flight plan. That's how you do it.
Passengers bus is coming.
Another bus is coming. These guys are so busy. So busy. All right. All right, Bobby, how we doing down there? Taxi and takeoff. All right, Bob. So today, be my takeoff. We're going to push back. And we'll have them go nose left so we can go out Alpha. And then little jig down to Alpha 1. We have the data. It's 13,000 feet of runway. We go over our speeds, engine out acceleration. What is our field elevation here? It's got to be down near 10 feet. And we got to check also our transition altitude is 10,000. On descent, it's 11. So you know what? I'm going to do something down here. VNAV, climb forecast, transition altitude 10,000. Right, on the climb out, you can change that.
Passengers boarding starting.
VNAV, it's going to work out sweet with the boarding. And on the descent, it's going to be 11. The real airplane knows, but you have to program it here in the sim, which is great. All right, so that's how we're going to get the taxi out of here. My takeoff, anything prior to 80 knots, call it out. We'll execute the abort. Between 80 and V1, it's engine failure, fire, overheat, compressor stall, we'll abort. So if the engine's failed or about to fail, we'll abort. Otherwise, we'll plan on taking it airborne. If it's an engine failure, we'll clean it up at 810. What did I say the field elevation was? I didn't. 16 feet. So we'll clean it up at about 820 feet. Min sector is 2,700 feet. Either runway works. We can come back in here to either runway. If we FOD this runway out with engine debris, we'll go to the outside runway. And 10,000 transition outs, as I mentioned. Any questions? No questions. All right. Thank you, man.
I'm doing good.
And we just wait. We're done. Here they come. You don't have a 787 because you don't have the premium package. I think you need it to do the 787. You can get the Kuro 787-8, I think, but I'm not sure if you need the premium to that since it just really mods the 10. Getting close. We have 260 of 296 passengers boarded. Anyway, it's all good. We can go back outside and we'll go take a little flight here.
Passenger's bus is coming.
Yeah, passenger bus is coming. All right, let's do this, guys. Let's go drone, right? We'll go really fast. Drone speed. And with that, we can go have a little fun here. We have a fast drone. Can we get all the way to Sydney? I don't know. Let's go take a look. Go down the river, the canal here. There we are, Sydney, Australia. Making the best use of our time. I have never been west of Hawaii. I would love to. What a beautiful city. Wow. I love this sim stuff, guys. We are so lucky to live in this day and age. Right. Let's go back to the airport.
Passengers boarding starting.
Oh, okay. Well, enough of that nonsense then. Let's go back inside. Man, you gotta love this stuff. I haven't been doing this long, guys. So if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that'd help me out quite a bit. All right. GSX. And prepare for pushback. Still coming out. Might as well go compete our little flight, huh? Let's do it. Sydney, Australia. One six right. Here we are, right here. So we're going to push back. Go up here. A little bit of juke on alpha. Turn around. And take off. That should pretty much complete the passenger boarding. Let's go back inside. People are just getting seated back there. Seatbelt sign is on. I'd clear them to disconnect external. They'd come on. Boarding's complete. Waiting for your action. Close passenger door 1. Oh, okay. Close passenger door 1. All right, and press boarding. Continue pushback. I don't see how to close the door. Let's go outside. Door is shut. Jeffrey's pulling back, which we didn't use, right? Looks like they're getting ready down there. Got a tug driver.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
All right, Bobby, let's do the checklist, please. I've got my hydraulic pumps on. This is my flow. You're going to turn on the fuel pumps and the center, because we actually, let me see, did we, let me check one thing here, guys. Fuel, 33.5, nothing in the center.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
And Bobby checks the doors, and he does a recall, cancel recall. We both check here, doors, manual seatbelt, APU's running. Looks good. All right, so we're going to tell them we're ready to push. We get permission from ground to push. No, maybe we're going to go second parking mix immediately. It must be still doing the lift. Are you ready, fellas? Do we not have all the doors shut? Doors? No, they're all shut. Lab's vacant. Come on. What do you say, fellas? Oh, continue pushback. Nose left.
Locking gear.
Sorry you had to see that. Yeah, 36 years with American Airlines. Retired 5 weeks ago, if you guys don't know me. 7 years in the Air Force for that. The Air Force Sport Academy for that. I'm retired. I'm doing a little flight simming. Spending a lot of time with my kids, my grandkids, my wife. I do a lot of instructional videos.
Release parking brakes. Please.
Parking. Sure.
Commencing push. All engines clear.
All right.
Start at will.
Start at will. Here we go. Left engine, throttle quadrant, left. I'm going to let Bobby start the engines while we look outside, because that's fun, right? Hoping they push us and we can taxi out Alpha here. That's what we're planning on doing. Back inside, engine start, and see this little tick here, red tick on each side? When that goes out, the engine's fully started. So we're monitoring. The big thing here, of course, is the oil pressure. Want to make sure we get good oil pressure, otherwise we shut it down. This has automatic restarts. I think it does 3 within 60 minutes. It doesn't restart for seized engine, though. It only restarts under certain circumstances. Works good. I've run into that a few times. EGT, it looks like it's fully started, but the EGT, oh, there they go. The tick marks have gone away. Overhead, APU's shutting down, and we want to hold off on the flaps until the pushback is complete. Yeah, Alpha's right here, guys. So it's just out like that, just like we demonstrated with our drone. Well, the way they're going, we might be able to skip going all the way out to Alpha, right? And they could just take the ramp and transition to Alpha up here. I don't know how they usually do it.
Please set parking brakes. Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Good engine
Cockpit
start.
to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
Pretty amazing, huh, guys? This flight sim stuff. Yeah, I've got to get out to Australia. I actually have a good Air Force buddy that married a woman from Australia and moved to Australia, still lives there. He's my age. Looks a lot better than me, but he's my age. And he flew for Qantas all these years. Left the U.S. Air Force, flew for Qantas. And loves it, of course, down there. Does everything. Water skis. Good man. His name's Jerry.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
There they are.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Wait for them to get out of the way. But I could tell the FO you can start bringing the flaps down. We just won't check them until they're out of the way. It's like they're moving in front. They're going to give us a salute. When they give us a salute, we would flash them with the taxi light. I'll leave it on because we're going to taxi on out here. And the way we check the flight controls, pretty simple, right? We got the salute from them. Flight controls right here on the flight control page. Right's good. These are elevators coming up. Rudder is coming up. You never take that for granted, do you, in the flight sim world, that everything will work. Okay, that's all good. So I think our guy here can go back to a nav display and for taxi checklist, please. Anti-ice is good. Recall, you know, remember how to do that. Just hit the recall button on either side. We check here. Oh, packs left and right. And that is why you do the checklist. Okay, let's try a recall now again. Recall again. That's good. Flight controls are checked. Ground equipment's checked. APU is off. We've shut that down. So APU is completely shut down. And flaps are supposed to be 5. And the flaps are 5. And that's it. All right. And I'll be on the takeoff page. And Bob will be on the legs page. All right. Yeah, Qantas 419 taxi. Qantas 419, take Alpha, runway 16 right. And provide you have information, Foxtrot. Alpha 16 right, we have Foxtrot, Qantas 419. All right, parking brakes are off. Clear left, clear right. That's it. So we wait till we get on the taxiway to run the checklist. You don't want to be doing this while the captain's in a turn. So take off that. We check weights, winds, and temperatures. Weights that they're at or below what we plan. If it's an assumed takeoff or reduced power takeoff, it's 3,000. You got 3,000 above, you can go and still be within your assumed. But if it's a max power takeoff, you would have to make sure that you are below, at or below. Otherwise, you need new numbers. Weights, winds. We got headwind. If you had a tailwind, you subtract about 3,600 pounds per knot. So 10 knots, 36,000 pounds off your runway limited. And temperature. It's assumed, you don't have to worry about it because it usually assumes up around 40 to 60. Right now we're 16 Celsius. But if it's a max, we're planning 16 Celsius and it's saying 17, you need all new numbers. Weights, winds, and temperatures are checked. Then we go MCP and radios. We come up here. We go 156 is D2, runway headings 164, it's going to be radar vectors. We have VNAV, no LNAV, 10,000 is our initial altitude. Weights, winds, and temperatures checked, and it's runway 16 right in the box. The way you do is check there, and you would check on here, 16 right there. All right, flight attendants prepare for takeoff, please. Qantas 419, contact tower 19-1. Tower Qantas 419, ready for takeoff 16 right. Qantas 419, Qantas Tower, you are, City Tower, you are clear for takeoff. Clear for takeoff 16 right, Qantas 419. So I'm going to ding-a-ling them. This takeoff's imminent. All right, going to come back in here, looks good, looks good. Gotta go up here a little bit. Finals clear. Radar vector's out of here. So this is by request, guys, a little Australia flight. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm not doing VATSIM. I'm not doing emergencies. It's my first flight in and out of Australia. I'm just honoring the country of Australia. Every Australian I've ever met, I've liked. I don't know if the feeling is mutual. All right, looks like 16 right to me. Roger, looks like 16 right. Finals clear. Taking the runway. This airplane, you have to be up above 40% before you hit toga. 16 right, right check runway heading. Runway heading checks. There's 40%, toga. Let's go. Let's go to Melbourne. Hope you're enjoying this, guys. Don't forget to like it, put on notifications, and subscribe if you wouldn't mind. Looking for 80 knots, that's our acceleration check. Make sure you don't have any clogged pitot static probes. 80 knots, cross cockpit checks. Maintaining center line. We're by right there, that's the VMCG, I like to check that.
V1.
And co-pilot calls. Bob calls rotate when he's in the talking mood. Positive rate, gear up. American, how about Qantas 419? Contact departure. Departure Qantas 419's out of 1,400 for 10,000. Qantas 419, climb, maintain flight level 340. Flight level 340, Qantas 419. Bob puts in 340 for me. I'm just watching it on the screen here, guys. I have a Logitech panel. Sorry about that. I'm trying to do some of this fancy stuff, reaching across my cockpit. Can't count on Bob to do anything. All right, we're above 3,000, so we can start cleaning up. The power is back at climb power. There's flaps 5. We can bring it up from flaps 1. We'll hit the flaps 1 speed, which is right there. We can bring them up. And I would tell Bob after time climb checklist, takeoff climb checklist. Autopilot's on. Reach down here, and they say Qantas 419, clear direct to Tanta. Clear direct to Tanta, Qantas 419. Actually, this one right here. How's that? LNAV. And it's not doing anything. Maybe that's a simism, right? So let's go heading. We'll get over and we'll go heading. And we'll just head on over there. On heading select. For whatever reason, didn't want to turn, guys. Not a big deal. And when you go, we're going direct to Tanta. Here we go. I guess maybe I didn't execute it. Extra heading bug up. Looking good. Out of 10. You ding-a-ling them. We can turn our lights out. Well, We'll leave on the strobes, the beacon, and nav, right? All right, and Bob, did you run that checklist for me, my friend? Checklist, that takeoff climb check is complete. And that's it. Let's go outside, take a look around. Beautiful Australia. Down the coast we go. All right, let's get ready for the entire arrival. And altimeter, we're up past 10, so I need to go barrow. Set there, standard, and checklist is complete. Climbing to 34. Top of descent's up here. It's 80 miles every 10 minutes, 162.40. So in 30 minutes, we'll start our descent. So I'll put the recording on pause. I'll come back in about 25 minutes. Hey, welcome back. Seems like just a minute ago, right? Took about 20 minutes off, went and got a cup of coffee. Said hello to my wife, who's painting back there. She's an artist. And I thought I'd come back in here and brief up the descent and arrival. So guys, you've flown with me, you know I either do that sim, an emergency, bad weather, engine out type stuff. Today, this is my inaugural flight in Australia. I'm just really enjoying doing a chill flight, cold dark to cold dark, one end to the other, Sydney to Melbourne. And it's just beautiful. You know how relaxing this flight sim thing can be when you don't go doing all that abusive stuff to yourself. All right, let's come in and brief the arrival, because I've already been looking at it. I really wasn't upstairs 20 minutes. I kind of looked at things. I probably should have kept you here so that you could have seen what I was going through or thinking about, but I didn't, so here we are. So we're going to go back in. So I'm flying for the arrival. Let's start there. It's always a good place to start, right? We're going to runway 34. Why are we going to 34? Because the ATIS says so. Not really. The winds are 010 at 7. Good visibility. Broken at 3100. 11 degrees and 1017. So I came in and I preset the altimeter 1017. I want to show you, and I do this all the time in the airplane. Decrease the range a little. Here's how the approach is coming in. I recommend you do this too. You go to plan, go to legs, step it through. Here we come on the arrival, which we'll talk about. Coming in, right-hand turn. They have no ILS on runway 34. All they have is an RNAV. So we'll do an RNAV in with the mins at 690, and that's a DA. All right, after landing, just jumping ahead here. Jumping ahead on 34. I'm going to park out here. It's like gate 14. So I've got brakes 3 selected. I'll arm the spoilers. We'll get off probably at Victor, I would guess. And a pretty short taxi in to gate 14. We'll figure that out when we get going. I read the notes. I don't see anything. Romeo and Quebec have restrictions on the wingspan, but nothing on our side. Romeo and Quebec are way over here. We're going to park over here because it looks like a good wide body gate. All right, so the star. Lizzie 9 Alpha, runway 34. There's another Lizzie 9 Alpha that goes to 27. That's not where we're going. And I checked it as always, guys, as you know. Against the box. First restriction we have is, remember, on the descent, 11 is a transition altitude, so we set that, if you remember, on our forecast page at 11. That's our transition altitude. That's a hard transition altitude. It's like 18 in the US. It's not like in the US. Oh, and I also went to menu and I put data. Why did I put data? Because that gives me the, at each point, crossing times and altitudes, airspeed. So I like to have data displayed. Put station in here, any of the surrounding airports if you want. Airport, stations of VORs. Let's go terrain on here. Have terrain ready. And there's no weather out there, so we're not worried about that. All right, so we'll be starting down here. 40 is 5, like we're doing 8 miles a minute, right? So 80 miles would be 10 minutes, so 40 miles is 5 minutes. We're starting down in around 6 or 7 minutes. I make a PA to the people and give them a heads up on that. Bobby runs a checklist. He goes recall. Nothing pops up this time. Order brakes at 3. Landing data. The reason I'm going to runway 34, it's not that I can't go to the other runway, runway 27, do the other one. Oh, it's the wrong airport. Sorry, guys. It's a little short, 7,500 feet. With the displaced threshold, it's more like 7,200. So why do it? Runway 34 is a good headwind. Like I said, we'll clear maybe as early as Foxtrot Tango, kind of a short taxi to the gate. Call it a day here in Melbourne. And then we'll fly around the terminal a little bit and see what we got there. All right, just to have a little fun. All right, so we were checking the legs. Abaru at or above 9. Go back to here. Runway 34, Abaru at or above 9. Go to the next page. I check this every time, as you know. VPID between 9 and 5. AXID at 230 knots. It's 230 knots. Gulat above 4, above 4. Bolte above 3, above 3. And then angle 2,500. So if they clear us just for the arrival descent, it's 3,000. Bolte, right? But if they clear us the whole approach, we can set in our minimums, which is 880 on the RNAV, RNP. Speaking of which, RNAV, RNP. RNAV, RNP, see they only have a GLS and RNAV. Let's pin that one to the approach too. We've got ACDIL at above 2,500, max speed 185. 185's in there. You've got Bogsy at above 1650, that's our FAF. Going down to MS, and that's at the end of the runway, that's important. 3-degree glide slope, 3-degree glide slope, that's checked. Missed approach is in the box, going to 4,000, 340, so pretty much straight ahead, 340. 690's in the box, LNAV, VNAV, we have them both. We've got reels and pappies, I don't know where they are. And that looks good. After landing, runway 34. Yeah, we're going to use brakes 3 as I mentioned, flaps 30, and that's set in the box. Flaps 30, we'll update it later. And plan on getting off. We'll probably be able to get off as early as Echo, then right on Alpha, contact ground, come on in here, and go to gate 14 on the end there. The GS will deboard, we'll look at the terminal, and that'll be fun. All right, I should have, I made the PA, I should have let them know, given them a break on the seatbelt sign. I'd let the flight attendants know that we are, it's presently coming up on 4 o'clock, we're landing at 4:24, 25 minutes to touchdown. 25 minutes on a normal descent is about how long it takes from top of descent to land. 25 minutes. All right. We're pretty much ready. That's it. Any questions? Okay. Fly around a little. And Qantas 419, Melbourne approach. You're clear to descend via the Lizzie 9 Alpha, expect runway 34. Lizzie 9 Alpha 34 transition for Qantas 49 clear to descend. I don't know if they send via, but what does that mean to us? That means up in this window we can put 3,000. When we're clear for the approach, we're cleared to set the minimums in, which are 690. 690 set there. Okay, so if 80 miles is 10 minutes, 40 miles is 5, and we're showing this, so in about 3.5 minutes, we're going to notice the, oh guys, look at this. If you haven't flown the 7.8 on Microsoft, the plan is how you get the plan mode. That's how you check your points. Menu has a bunch of good stuff on it here. I like to have traffic, airport, weather, terrain. We'll leave, I don't see any weather out there. Let's put terrain on. And that's it. Can't put too much on or the machine will dump itself. So we know we're going to do 0.81 Mach. Next page, 0.8 Mach transition to 280. That's fine. You got plenty of time. If you wanted to change that, you could. Yeah, I never flew the 7.8, guys. I flew, if you haven't flown with me, I've flown the 7.2 as an engineer. As a captain, I flew the 7.3, 7.5, 7.6, 777. I flew the KC-135s in the Air Force, which is 707, and also T-37's instructor, and then which I primarily flew. And then I also was a captain on the MD-80 and co-pilot on the Airbus A310 and the MD-11. I can't wait for the TFDI MD-11 to come out. I've already got my manuals out. I'm studying it. Yeah, no one's geekier than me now. And I only started this flight sim stuff 6 or 7 months ago. I have my website, my homepage on YouTube, organized by playlists. If you fly the 777 or the A310, the A320, a lot of 777, a lot of 787. I've kind of MD-11. I've kind of flown them all, and I've done videos on all of them. I even did some World War II stuff. Warbirds, P-38, P-51, Spitfire, I think it was E6, E4, 6, something. One lands on a carrier. Did a bunch of work with that. Had a lot of fun. I've also done the PMDG 737, PMDG 777 over on P3D, and most recently the DC-6. Did a few flights on that. Got myself kind of checked out on that. Going to fly the across the pond, October 28th, eastbound. I've applied for it. I don't know which one I'm going to get, which route, but I think I'm going to fly the 78-10 on over. It's fine, especially since I got the electronic flight bag update where it can do performance data. That's kind of fun, and you can also talk to SimBrief. That helps a lot. All right, so we're cleared to descend via the Lizzie 9 Alpha. Right now, we're going to do an RNAV, so RNAV Prague, page 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got to put in 125. That's so on final, your bars are plus or minus 75 feet. Otherwise, they'll be too wide. Right now, the required navigational planning is 4. It's 2. This RNAV, RNP, for this runway that we're going to fly. Did I not save that one? I don't think I did. Yeah, you got to check the glide path, 3-degree glide path, the minimums, program in 125, and also you look to see if it's other than 0.3. 0.3 is a standard. If it's a 0.11, you'd have to put in 0.11 on that page 4, right there, and you'd also have anything less than 0.3. 0.1 is the minimum. Anything less than 0.3, you'd have to get a dispatch satellite reliability check. Good visibility, as I mentioned. Don't have any ATIS here. TAP report. It's going to get a little windier later. Right now it's 360 at 8. It's a little bit of a right cross, tiny bit. Broken clouds at 3,000. Plenty of weather. All right. Landing data is checked. Approach brief is complete. Descent checks complete. And we'll get the altimeters passing 11. Oh, is it not starting down? There it goes. It was a little late to start down. And I have it programmed in 3. We let approach know we've started down. There it is. Right now they're amber because I put in that 125. It really could go as high as 400 this far out. It's sort of like a cone. As it gets in, the required navigational planning becomes tighter and tighter. We'll be well within that 125 if things are normal. It's hanging a little bit above here. Not a problem. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to pop the speed brakes a little. Just let it get back on path. See how it's come out of path, guys? It's in speed. That's because it's not on the path. So you bring it in. When this comes back up, here it comes. There we are. We're in path. Should be able to handle it now. And I'm going to arm the spoilers. See if I can get them armed. Usually I have to do it using this thing. There we go, speed brakes on for landing. And double check the approach speed. 140, what do we got here? 145, that's still good. 150 is our final then. It's holding path nicely. All right. Qantas, 419, Melbourne approach. You're cleared on the Lizzie 9 Alpha arrival transition to 34, and you're actually cleared the RNAV approach to runway 34. Go to the RNAV, go to the Lizzie 9 Alpha, go to the RNAV to 34. All right, guys. So with that, we can put our mins in. So we can go to all the way down to 690. Can't get that in there, so you have to. Oh, that was unfortunate. Put it 700. And if you remember, I've briefed this a million times. I know a lot of you guys have flown me quite a bit. The FAF crossing is Bogsy at 1650 on the RNAV. When you pass that and you're more than 300 feet below misapproach altitude, which is 4,000, so 30, so you will be. So you pass Bogsy. When Bogsy is no longer magenta, cyan, it is white. That means you're going to the next point. You should put in your misapproach altitude of 4,000. Otherwise, when it hits 690, it'll level off. And if you're in the weather, you got to go around. So you got to make sure you put that in, as well as cross-checking the crossing altitude at 1650 at Bogsy. And this is really once you've checked your flight plan against the charts. Your box against the charts, and as long as that is in that range right there, you can see the RNP, AMP, you're good. You don't have to keep going back like we used to have to do and saying, I mean, some guys do. They don't trust it. They're going, okay, our next altitude is this or that. And why wouldn't you? Because you actually have your next altitude. If you did data like I taught you, data, and you've already checked that, it's already displayed up there. But, I don't mind when guys are extra cautious at all. Doesn't bother me. Not a heck of a lot bothers me, guys. I think any of my guys that used to fly with me will tell you I don't get too excited. I do have a good time. Right, Bob? Love that guy. Not much to do. So now I probably go to the overhead. I turn on the seatbelt sign, just making sure the passengers there's time to seat the passengers. Pretty much just got to fly it on in and land. So I guess what makes this non-vanilla is probably the RNAV, non-ILS approach, RNAV. I could start an engine fire here or pretend one, shut it all down, come in, do an engine out. I could lower the weather down and do this to minimums, but it's my first time. Well, let's do it. All right, so Live weather's off. Clear skies? Nah. Let's do overcast. What do we want the ceiling to be? The bottom? Ah, that's pretty good, right? That. Density. That. I don't know. Do it down, our minimum's down at 600. We'll break out inside the FAF. Now let's go a little lower. Maybe get down around 1,000. Right now, our minimums are 600. All right, want to try it at 785? All right, guys. Should break out pretty close to minimums. You asked for it. You got it right here on Father Time. Let's get the lights on. We get them out of 18. I think Bat Sim, and you have to have them on out of 10. How are we doing on the fuel anyway? It's off. Good. Landed with 20.1. That's a lot of gas. We can make it all the way back if we had to. Now we're going to go in the weather down to minimums. RNAV to minimums. We've got to go around. It's going around. Toga. Flaps 20. We're at flaps. We're going to be at flaps 30, right? Flaps 20. Positive rate guess. Gear up. Set this approach altitude. Fly it on out. Come back in, and we'll probably try the 27 and land with the ILS. We get down a little bit lower. Just be a shorter runway. Anyway, we might as well do something. I kind of wanted to leave the weather up so that we could take a look at Australia and the beautiful approaches and everything, but yeah, we got to do something to make this interesting for you guys, right? Here we come, coming up over Lizzie. What could go wrong? Now I'm excited. We're going to do something here. Pilots love it, you know. When it goes down to minimums, Cat 3, rain showers, we actually get excited. We like that stuff. We do have 250 below 10. I know that's unprofessional drinking coffee, but we do it in the cockpit, so, you know, why not? Guys landing, it takes about 20 minutes for the caffeine to kick in. Whoever's landing usually has a cup of coffee around 30 minutes prior. Kind of gets up and going. We got a Babu at or above 9. There it is, right? Got that made. It's coming down nicely on the approach. So this is the VNAV path. I wouldn't say this is plus or minus 75 yet because the tolerances in here are lower, or higher, probably 2. So it's probably like plus or minus 200. As we get down lower, it's plus or minus 75 on final. And here's your approach. You can see it now. Prague. Still got 45 miles out. 25, 14, 13 minutes to landing. Yeah, make that 12 minutes to landing. 11 minutes. And we sterilize them out of 10. But if the weather's bad, you can do it earlier. Chime them. Flight attendants, prepare for landing, please. Should be saying this in my Australian accent, shouldn't I? Which I don't have one. Come on up here. I love that accent, though. What kind of accent do you guys think I have? I have, I'll tell you, from Rhode Island initially, so I sound like the mafia on American TV, don't I? I know that. It's not the most attractive accent. I'm aware of that. My mother's is worse. At least I went away. When I was 17, I went to the Air Force Academy in Colorado. I was extensively ridiculed for my accent. Then I went in the Air Force, lived in initially Oklahoma, and then I went to Plattsburgh, New York. Kind of got, ridiculed at me quite a bit, and which was good. But it's come back. I've been up in the Northeast for 36 years, living in New York, so, and I'm married to New Yorkers, so kind of, the accent has sort of come back. I think I'll speed intervene here and slow it down a little bit. These RNAV approaches, you don't want to come smoking in. ATC a lot of times is changing your approach as you come in, or slowing you down, speeding you up, all sorts of things. So it seems like a good idea. So I'd like to try to be a little bit ahead on it. So I speed intervene a little early, which you're going to be speed intervening on final anyway. But below 20, so if we needed flaps, we could. As soon as we get below 260, it's flaps 1 speed. Well, you guys from Australia, spread the word. Father Time has arrived, simulated arrival. I would like to get to Australia, New Zealand, as we get going there. We're out of 11, so altimeters 1017, check 3 times, and the descent check's complete. For Bobby, big check this guy. The speed brakes come out of the D10. Let me see here. They were armed for landing. Changed their mind, didn't they? Speed brakes are armed. They're already sterilized. Now, when we get down below 260, I'll probably put some flaps out, flaps to 1, to give this room to maneuver. FMC, unable to maintain VNAV descent speed, extend speed brakes if necessary. Speed brakes or flaps when we get below 260. I can pop the speed brakes a bit. Now that we're down below 260, I can go flaps. And I'll bring this back to 240, just so that we have a little bit of room on that overspeed protection. Well, below 250, we can actually go flaps 5. There we go. We do have a speed restriction at 230 up here somewhere. Or it'll be at 230 anyway. VNAV path, it's right in the middle, looking good. They would turn this over to approach, and we tell Melbourne approach. Qantas 419 heavy. That's information Foxtrot. Sending via the Lizzie 9 Alpha. Cleared for the RNAV to runway 34. Say Roger. Have a good time, knock yourself out is what he'd say. That's interesting. So we got the weather all the way down to Mins. Like I said, if you got to go around, guys, I really do. Oh, will we just freeze up? Here we go. If we got to go around, it's going around. Toga, flaps 20. Positive rate gear up, set miss approach altitude, which is 4,000. Fly it out in LNAV. Contact departure eventually. Come back around. We try the ILS to 27. Would be our backup plan. Is that true? Is it 27? Yes, ILS 27. We get down a little lower that way, and the winds are still a little bit of a crosswind, but at least it's not a tailwind. Yeah, so we made it interesting, didn't we, at the end? Wonder what you can see with the drone. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That was scary. Why I did that. Okay, so we got, you guys probably can't see it. Let me turn this down a little bit. At or above 4, no problem. We got, both of these are nailed right on the VNAV glide path. How many miles out are we? 17. Flaps 15 when we get below 215. So to get below 215, which is our next one, we'd have to get down to flaps 15. So I'll bring it down to 210. You know, this 787-10 is a pretty good product. You know, it's not study level, whatever that is, but it certainly is a quality project. I got flaps 15 set now. That'll give it plenty of room to go there. If you look down in the box, they want 185 at Actel. 185. At or above 3 at Bolte, not a problem. Approach speed, yep, still 150, 145 plus 5. 185 at Actel, so let's get it slowed down. 185. Flaps 20 below 210, we can do that. And you know, let's get the gear down. Need a little bit of drag so it's not sloppy trying to maintain it. There we go. How we doing? Still path? Kind of deviated there for a second. Hey, if we had to go Vista Pros, we'd have to follow this course line, right? At this point. For some reason this went haywire. Unable RNP if we got that warning on final or something to indicate we've lost a GPS signal, we'd have to go around. All right, Actel at 185. We can go to flaps 25 at 180. There's Actel. Flaps 25. A little bit early. Below 170, we can go to flaps 30. We said 150 knots, right? 170, flaps 30 before landing check, Bobby. Bob comes in here. Before landing checklist is complete, sir. Thanks, Bobby. Love you. All right, so let's get this heading bug slewed around. The reason why that's important is if you ever went Vista Approach and your heading was on the other side of nowhere, right? You really always want to keep the bug. On an ILS, it cages and brings itself around, but on a RNAV, of course, it doesn't. So if tower said, Roger, fly runway heading, you could actually hit heading hold, but you want to, it's still on path, but it's got to come up here. It's getting down a little low.
2,500.
And Qantas 419 contact Melbourne Tower 35.9. Melbourne Tower, Qantas 419 is on final for runway 34. Clear to land. Qantas 419. I don't know if they say heavy in Australia. Now what's the next thing? Remember I told you? After Bossy, we got to put in our altitude. If we're more than 300 feet below Vista Pros altitude, which we will be because that's 4,000, we're going to have to put in 4,000, otherwise it'll level off when it gets to 690. And today that's kind of a big deal because we're right down at minimums, right? Nothing. Nada. 1 mile to Bossy. Still VNAV path. Right in the bars. Right in the bars. Waiting on that Bossy passing. That's a big deal, guys. Real big deal. Can't emphasize that enough. All right, there's Bossy. $4,000 is set. And we checked final approach for crossing altitude, cross-check that. Vista Pros altitude is set. And we're inside, outside. Stable. I can see the ground. Minimums of 690. Runway in sight. Autopilot's off. Let's get a good landing. little red over red, isn't it? Rotor's in a little low, so let's pull it up a little, get that flight path vector up a little higher, maintaining airspeed, in-point airspeed. Very sensitive in the roll in the sim. There we go. I don't know why it's landing. There's red over white. Put that pipper right on the landing zone. Right on the landing zone. Sinking 750.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
And center line, center line. Center line's your friend. Coming on the brakes. At 80 knots, we start coming out of reverse. Be out completely by 60. 60. 40. Clear here. Not bad. I don't worry about the landing, guys. Center line in the zone. Right? That probably was a little drop in. Not bad. And now, go to the taxi diagram. Try to figure out where we are. We get off at Foxtrot. We're going to take it up. I'm not going to do this big turn back here. That's a little too much. But I will tell Bobby, flaps up please, after landing checklist. I'll cycle these speed brakes. And we can go to the overhead, let it kind of roll. Go to the overhead, get the landing lights out so we don't scare anyone. Thinks we're coming right at them, right? Strobes are off. Overhead, start the APU. All right, let's get the taxi diagram up here, figure out where the heck we are. There we go. All right, we're here on Foxtrot. We'll take a right on Tango, and then a right on Alpha, and we'll try to park right in here at gate 14. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you, Australians, for being with me. This is Victor right here. I'm going to take it into Alpha, then over here. See this little plane here? If you don't have your symbol on your Navigraph chart, that's how you get it. So it says Alpha there, so our next right is Alpha. Victor's behind us. Alpha's next. I'm going to try to park right at the end of this terminal somehow. I just looked at it. It looked like a wide body gate. Guess I could call up GSX. Oh yeah, let's do that. I was told that I can do that. So let's do that. I'll let me roll out here first. I think someone might actually be on my gate, as luck would have it. All right, let me stop. GSX. Select parking. Suitable. F14. Available soon. Available soon. All right, let's go this F12. Show me the spot. All right, let's do it. Oh man, this is cool. This is too cool. Thank you, Benchy. Benchy taught me how to do that. Benchy runs a Discord. Hey guys, if you're still with us, if you wouldn't mind subscribing and going over our Discord, the link's in the description, and joining us. We got a nice group going on over there. It's extremely non-toxic. Yeah, D14 is occupied. Great guys, young guys, older guys, engineers, doctors, 15-year-olds, 17-year-olds, students, avid simulators, novices, airline pilots, retired airline pilots, all sorts of things. But any help you can give me, especially with the technical issues, any mistakes I make, call me out in the comments. Do not think you're offending me. Do not. I don't get offended with that stuff. I need the help, and I want an honest site where you guys really enjoy coming here because we all learn together. See if I still got that gate here. Where is that? Huh. Let's find the parking spot. Let's find it again. Select parking. Suitable parking, F1. F1 heavy. Follow me? Yeah, follow me. Qantas. A marshal has been dispatched on site. Follow me, vehicle is on its way. Oh, man. This is too much. Let's go outside and check this out. Where is he? Here he comes. Look at this little guy. You're the bomb, baby. You shouldn't say a bomber on an airliner, right? He's underneath. Really, he's underneath. I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't go there. That's a huge mistake. Where are you, brother? I can't see you under there. Ah. Oh, this is too cool. Are we going to follow him or what? Let's do it. I've never done this before. I'm like really excited. This is very cool. Don't ever be afraid to ask for progressive. Progressives, when you're flying VATSIM or something, you don't know where you're going, say, yes, sir, I'm unfamiliar. Could we have progressive? If they have time, they'll give it to you. Follow me? Maybe not so much. This guy may be bringing us all the way back around. He's waiting for us. Where is he bringing us? Probably lost half my audience, whatever's left of you, on this last little part here, but I just think it's cool. All right, where are we going, by? Where we going? This is beyond cool. I'm sorry. I'm glad I did that RNAV down to the minimums and everything. That was cool. I'm even glad I did this because I've never done it before. Follow me wherever you may go. Yeah, you didn't need that, did you guys? Oh, over here, okay. All right. Ooh. I don't know, yeah, okay, all right. Let's do it. What could go wrong? F-12. Got wing walkers out there, right? Thank you, follow me. Even got a guy down here. Tell me to come right a little bit. It's doing it. Slow down, he's telling me. Oh man, GSX, you guys, these people are so smart. All right, brakes are parked. Seatbelt sign is off. APU is running. Oh, they already plugged in external. How's that? World's fastest external power. You can chop them. And checklist. Let's look outside, see what this guy's doing now. No, he's not happy with it. That's all right. Go. And checklist. Hydraulic panel. I got to do the overhead. My flow is off, 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 off. And not going to move the jet bridge with the beacons going. So you want to get that off. And emergency exit lights. This is the hard one. Ah, good enough. Let's go here down here. Parking brakes set. Checklist. RUs. Turn that off. Emergency lights off. Packs are off. APU off. So we can go because we already have external running. APU off. They want the packs off. Emergency exit lights. I'm determined to do this. There we go. And they're off. Checklist complete. Turn on the lights. Let's get the people off first, right? Deplane. Welcome to Australia.
The boarding requested.
Parked a bit too short. That's okay. That's okay, man. Boarding requested. Reposition aircraft. Reposition here at current gate. Okay, now requested boarding.
The boarding requested.
And let's use Qantas, since we are Qantas, right? Handling by Qantas. Let's take a look outside. All right, so anyway, so Jeopard's even going to come. There we go, doors open.
Passengers deboarding starting.
Not without the jet bridge, it's not. Well, they're going out anyway, guys, so I guess that's a glitch. 17 people. I wonder if you can even see them back there. You see? I want to see if this airport... I'm going to slow down the drone speed. Ah, you can't do it. They're going out somewhere, somehow. Anyway, you get the idea, right? All right, that's it. Don't forget to subscribe if you wouldn't mind. Welcome to Australia. Very cool. Oh, I wanted to see if I bought the terminal package here. Let me slow down this drone speed just a bit. We'll take a look inside the terminal. Showcase drone speed. Let's get it down pretty slow here. That'll help a little bit, right? Nope, nothing in there. So I guess this, I did buy the terminal package or downloaded it. This must have been from Flight Sim. Flight Sim dot, TO, because the terminal is not in very good shape. I mean, I don't think there's any details here. No, okay. You get the idea. Welcome to Melbourne, guys. I want to go up too high. Melbourne, Australia. Thanks for the suggestion, guys. Whoever suggested I go Sydney to Melbourne. Sorry about any imperfections. I'm going to do some Australia work the next couple of flights. I'll do some engine out, some cargo fires, some kind of fun things in Australia here. It was really fun. Thank you, Qantas, for letting me borrow your livery. And thank you, everyone, for all your help. Please keep the suggestions coming, comments coming. Please think about joining the Discord, and just thanks for everything. Father Time is out.